I drove some drunk guy from downtown Vinewood to Pacific Bluffs, and he was rambling about a girl from the island, pink water, and a producer who fixed everything. I would have forgotten it by the first red light, but then I found something weird in the cab.
Start from the beginning, Troy, and don't skip anything, even the parts that sounded stupid to you.
Guys, your TV is making more sense than half my passengers this week, but I gotta go. Downtown Vinewood called a cab, and I need to move. The call came from Downtown Vinewood, a respectable address, which usually means bad tips and a passenger who thinks the driver is part of the furniture. But there's not much of a choice. Either you go or you sit there listening to Dax comment on the TV. Expensive clothes, glassy eyes, and the smell of whiskey I caught before he even opened the door. I knew right away. He was either leaving me a tip or emotional damage.
Hello. You can drive now.
We headed toward Pacific Bluffs. For the first 5 minutes, he just hummed some tune, and then the dam broke. First, he mumbled about a party, then about some girl from the island, and then came the interesting part. Pink water, boats, and a producer who fixed everything. I listened and figured he was just another rich idiot whose alcohol had opened the basement door in his head. When a drunk client in the backseat says Cayo Perico like it's not a resort but a burial ground, your focus takes a little hit. I didn't crash. I aggressively checked whether the tree on the sidewalk was real.
Dios mío.
It was real, the bastard. Hey, where's my tip? Who's the producer and what damn pier are you talking about? You can't just drop a story like that in the middle of the road and walk away. I wasn't done listening. I got in, started the engine, and only then noticed an old Polaroid on the back seat. The photo showed a pier, water, and that same bad smell of the island that way too many people have been talking about lately. I'm no expert on dead women islands and pink water, but even I can tell this isn't just some drunken trip anymore.
You brought me more than just a Polaroid, Troy. You brought me proof that Vinewood knew about Laura long before her plane went down in the water. And now we have a pier, pink water, and the word producer, which is already more than I had yesterday. When the sheriff department's official channels go quiet, you have to fall back on the old methods. I ran a search through closed databases, hoping to reach someone who knew Laura before she disappeared. One of those people set a meeting by a payphone at a gas station in Little Seoul.
It's me. It's Avi. Just listen. You're being watched. Everything you do. They're everywhere. Everywhere. Freaking no ways. Those driverless taxis. And don't call back.
Avi Schwartzman reached out through old encrypted lines, and his information cost me whatever peace I had left. He was afraid No Way was watching the city through its autonomous taxis. Rockford Hills was waiting for me, and I still didn't know if this was a step toward Laura or just a beautiful dead end with expensive interiors. The law tells me to stop, but the badge in my pocket hasn't carried any weight in a long time. Every surveillance system begins with a very old desire to see everyone and answer to no one. If No Way was watching Vinewood, I wanted to know whether it had seen Laura. No Way wasn't just some tech startup with a nice logo and press releases about a safer future. The guards here were far too well equipped for a regular office, which meant whatever they were protecting was worth a lot more than any piece of hardware. They didn't look like men who understood what they were guarding, but they were standing between me and a machine that might know more than half the living witnesses in this case. In Los Santos, technology always pretends to be neutral until someone finds a body, a root, or a lie buried in its logs. I didn't come here to break progress. I came to see whether Vinewood had hidden Laura in another database. Sometimes, to find a human trace, you have to sit inside a machine with no human in it. I create a little glitch in the program. What can't be taken as evidence has to be destroyed as a possibility. Fire wipes away fingerprints. A Molotov is the simplest goodbye to a place that was never supposed to ask questions. Avi Schwartzman left me a dead drop on Elysian Island, as if hiding places was still something you could trust in this case. I rode there thinking I'd find a trace of Laura, a fragment of a root, or at least someone else's mistake. An industrial port where all of this city's dirty deals usually come to die. Elysian Island is the perfect graveyard for hope, where steel rusts faster than a human conscience. I hit the gas, hoping that somewhere among the rusted containers, the main answer to my sleepless questions was waiting for me. An empty case with a SecuroServ logo meant someone had already taken the answer before I got there, or left me a message.